quarterback selection. They probably took a page out of Brian Johnson's playbook, man.
I mean, that's one thing I would say.
And so you know.
To compare my game to somebody, like, for real, my favorite player is Damian Lillard. I feel like I play like him a little bit.
Don't see Kansas City back in.
I feel like I would be so like, I want to learn to.
He was a dual threat quarterback at Utah State. He's second in passing yards at Utah State. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you guys Diondre Borel. Appreciate you for taking the time to come on my podcast.
Yes, sir. I'm thankful. Just grateful to be here, man. Grateful to meet you. Was that like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, or something like that?
Yep. Story time. We met at the NFLPA a couple weeks ago, man. And everything happened for a reason. God had to, place us this. So now we're doing the podcast, and like we said we was gonna do.
Yes, sir. So
Yes,
I'm thankful to be here, man. I believe in what you're doing. I believe in your dream, and it means something to me.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Thank you so much. That really mean a lot. Hey, so you my first guest of 2025, so that's how we popping off with it, man. So before I get started on the show, Happy New Year to you. And what you do for New Year's?
Man, I didn't do anything. I stayed in the house.
For real?
I was actually gonna go out. I went out to a bar, got something to eat, and then I ended up getting home. And I'm like, you know what? I had to write this message, sent it off. I actually was on a prayer call with my old church, and just gave a word, and just God used me to give them a word that they needed, and I just stayed on that call, and that's how I brought it in.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Yeah. New Year's luck. So let's go ahead and get today's show started. So how did you get started in your journey into playing in football?
Really, it was just at a young age with my stepdad, my stepfather. I call him my stepfather.
Okay.
We found some baseballs at a field or at a park one day at a school.
Yeah.
And then took it home, and that was the first start. That was the first sport I actually played was baseball.
Yeah.
And then from there, I wanted to play football like 2 years after.
Yeah, okay.
And I remember that my dad was like, yeah, one of my friends wants you to come up there and, play some Pop Warner football. And they didn't want me to play. They just wanted me to be on the team and just watch. And I sat there, I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And then that following year, just started playing tackle football. And then that's how it took off for me as a kid, at least at 10 years old.
Yeah. So did you always play quarterback?
No, I actually played wide receiver as a kid.
Okay.
Receiver.
And that's what you play in the NFL, right? Receiver now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. That's what's up.
So it was a lot of people wanted me to play quarterback though.
Yeah, okay.
Pop Warner, they wanted me to play quarterback. We actually had a quarterback that got drafted by the Rams.
Yeah.
Coach Lou Starling. And he was like, why don't you play quarterback? And I kept saying no.
Yeah.
And then when I got to high school, I had another coach that played in the NFL, Ron Rivers.
Yeah.
So he seen me throw the ball when I was at practice freshman year.
Yeah.
And he said, why don't you play quarterback? And I kept saying, no, I want to play receiver. He's like, nah, I play quarterback because you get the ball. You get to run and throw.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, I was playing quarterback. So that's how I got it going.
Okay, yeah. So moving on to your college journey. So you played at Utah State, dual threat quarterback. So what made you pick Utah State? What was that,
The determining factor for that was it was one of my coaches, man. He rest in peace, Coach John Russian.
Mm-hmm.
He was the guy that gave me the scholarship
Okay.
to play at Utah State and that was the only school that said they would play me at quarterback.
Yeah.
So he actually had a defensive back scholarship, and he was supposed to give it to a defensive back.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm going to give you this scholarship, but I still want you to play quarterback.
Yeah.
And I went on a visit, and went on one visit, got there, came back home, they called me right after and said, we're going to offer you.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to commit right there, and I committed. So just thankful for that process.
Was that your first time ever going to Utah as a whole?
For sure.
So how was that?
It was snowing that day. I was like,
Yeah.
man, I don't know if I want to go to Utah, Logan, Utah. It was a smaller city.
Yeah.
But you know, it was meant for me to go, man. It's purpose.
Okay. Oh,
So.
yeah. So on the field, so as a dual threat quarterback, what was the challenges that you faced on the field and off the field?
I'd say at quarterback, dual threat quarterback, you know, I believe there was a stigma at that time.
Yeah.
It was like, well, dual threat quarterbacks, you know, they just run the football a lot.
Yeah.
So I wanted to prove myself as a passer.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I could throw the ball. I know
Yeah.
my arm was strong enough. I was smaller.
Yeah.
I was a smaller quarterback at that time. So my natural size, man, college, I was probably about 175 to like 187, bro. So
yeah.
I was a smaller quarterback, but I moved best at that size.
Okay.
So I wanted to gain a little bit of weight. That was tough. But my skill set, I believe, was the thing that changed the game for me. And the coaches saw that.
Yeah.
But I think just the passing part, that's what I wanted to prove. And then off the field, I think it was just how you spend time.
Yeah.
How you spend time off the field. I'd say in Utah, there's
Yeah.
not much to do.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, what do we do? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So sometimes, man, when you playing sports in college, all you know is the how they order things for you. You know,
Yeah.
you go to weights in the morning, they got a
Mhm.
whole schedule for you.
Yeah.
But then when it's time to schedule your own thing, you don't know what to do. So I think that was one of the challenges I had during sports,
Okay.
football in college.
So what year did you start become the starter at Utah State?
It was my sophomore year.
Sophomore.
So the quarterback coach promised me to play quarterback. So freshman
Yeah.
year, I tried to play receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I really should have just redshirted.
Yeah.
So the following year, I ended up going back to quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Springtime came. I was a third string quarterback. So the coach that we had at that time, our head coach, he made the quarterbacks live.
Yeah.
And you all know that quarterbacks shouldn't be live in practice.
Yeah.
So I was, second week of practice,
Mm-hmm.
I ended up getting hit
Yeah.
in my shoulder,
Yeah.
and then I separated my AC joint. So I didn't finish spring football.
Okay.
And then from there, I just ended up, I was kind of mad. I was upset. I was
Yeah.
kind of pissed off. I was
Yeah.
like, man, what the heck? So we go into fall, that second string quarterback quit.
Yeah.
So then it was a junior college quarterback. And then after that, about the fourth game is when I started. Coaches just determined like, hey, you're gonna be the starter, and that was it. So sophomore year, and after
Okay.
that, it was history.
Okay. So who would you say, was it a Pacific coach or a Pacific teammate who helped you, who really impacted you on your college journey?
I say Robert Turbin.
Okay.
You know, we were both from the Bay Area, so I'm from San Jose, California. He's from
Okay.
Oakland, California. So
yeah. Oh, okay.
when we
Yeah.
flew in, we were on the same flight. We ended up
Yeah.
staying with each other for a little bit with one of our other teammates.
Yeah.
And then we just really connected and got close, man. And
Okay.
we had this dream and vision
yeah.
to do it big and play in the NFL and start. So
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a fulfilling dream right there. And so you say you from California, man. Y'all got a lot of ballers out there in Cali.
Yeah, we got a lot of ballers.
people.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Bryce Young from there. I ain't CJ Stroud from there. All them.
I don't know.
They're from
Where is
California?
CJ Stroud from? Yeah, he from California.
Yeah, he is from Cali. Okay,
I didn't
okay.
even know. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on. So transitioning. So how was the transition from college to the NFL? How was that for you?
I'd say it was a little bit different, man.
Yeah.
It was a little bit harder.
Mm-hmm.
So the year I came out, there was a lockout year.
Yeah.
So I didn't sign anywhere right after. So
yeah.
the guys that got drafted.
Mm-hmm.
But the guys that were free agents, we had to wait until the
Yeah.
lockout was over. So we
Okay.
didn't get any mini camps. We didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
And then when July came, that's when I had to choose a team. They ended the lockout, and then I ended up signing. But it was tough playing receiver
Yeah.
without those extra practices and then learning
Yeah.
the playbook, man,
Yeah.
and just playing at the highest level, playing wide receiver was just different
Yeah.
because people putting their hands on you. So
Okay.
that was probably the hardest part.
Okay. So I want to ask this as a fan. So y'all the football players, you know, I'm the fan of it. So, well, you know, you was a fan before you became in the NFL. So, like, is any particular moment when you was in practice, did you ever like get like starstruck when you saw a certain player or anything? Was it like, dang, I'm really in practice with this guy type? Did you
Yeah.
ever have one of them kind of moments?
Yeah, it was like we had Donald Driver. So as a
Yeah.
kid, I watched him. I'm like, dang, like I looked up to him. I'm like, Donald Driver's a baller.
Yeah.
Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
Those are the guy. Aaron
That's
Rodgers. I'm
wild.
like sitting there
Yeah.
like, yeah, Charles Woodson. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm on the same team, lining up against them and everything like that. So
Oh,
was fun.
How was the practice with him?
every time me and Charles Woodson lined up
Yeah.
against each other, it was a good matchup.
Mhm.
So I'd be in the slot, he'd be in the
Yeah.
nickel, and like you can't really tell if he's gonna blitz or he's gonna jam you, and it really
Yeah.
looks like he gonna blitz,
Charles Wilson one of the ones.
and then he'll really come up and jam you. But every time we went up against each other, it was like we would high five each other, and I'd
Okay.
get off the press and run the route. But he knew his stuff, man.
Okay,
It was easy for
sure.
him.
So you spent time with the Green Bay Packers and the Tennessee Titans. So like, what was those experiences like? Like, how did you like? Well, first of all, how did you like living in just the areas in Green Bay? I know it's cold, and I
Yeah.
don't feel like I don't do that. But I guess y'all getting paid that money. I guess I would play too, like so.
Yeah, Green Bay was cold.
Yeah.
I like the professionalism of the organization.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
Everyone had equal opportunity, and they were very like on point with everything, man. Like when
Yeah.
it came to football, everything was on point.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say just the cold, I was used to it because I was in Utah.
Yeah.
But man, we'd be practicing outside. It'd be like 10 degrees,
Yeah.
10 degrees, wind chill, -9. So that's what it feel like when we
Can't do it.
outside. I'm sitting there like, bro, we might as well practice outside.
Yeah. Right.
We had an indoor.
Yeah.
And then we had we had indoor and then it was outside. But
Yeah.
outside there was the sun.
Mhm.
Indoor, they would open the doors
Yeah.
when we had the turf. And I'm like, dude, it's colder in here
Mhm.
than outside. We just need to be outside. But Green Bay was good.
Ooh.
But I like Tennessee too, man.
Mhm.
That felt like home to me
Yeah.
when I was there in
Okay.
Nashville. And it was a good place to be.
Did you have a favorite team growing up?
It was Green Bay.
Mhm.
And then it was Atlanta because
Yeah.
of Michael Vick.
Real?
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mike Vick, yeah, that's a legend right there, man. That's
Yes,
my boy
sir.
Vick right there, yeah. So man, let's talk about some of the NFL, man. So who while we on there, we gonna get back to you. So who you got in the Super Bowl this year?
Man, that's going to be tough.
Who you feel like gonna make it?
Ravens are playing pretty good.
Yeah, they just won. Yeah.
I know it sounds crazy. The Rams, bro, they just coming out of nowhere.
Yeah,
So- They have a possibility. Eagles.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Eagles would be
Fly Eagles fly.
that would be a good Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah.
Eagles. Chiefs, they're always winning, so
Yeah, a lot of people
Yeah.
tired of the Chiefs, but I look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like they just a winning organization. So I want the Eagles to win like that though. So
it'd be nice to see Eagles and Chiefs
yeah.
again.
But I need the Eagles to beat them though, man. So but yeah, going back to you, so how did playing football shape, the rest of your career, playing in the NFL as a whole? Like how did it shape like just on from day one on to the end of your career?
I'd say just the discipline.
Yeah.
It made me push harder.
Mm-hmm.
It made me study,
Yeah.
think. Like, you're doing everything that in football, everything that you're doing, you doing that outside in life too.
Yeah.
So the workouts, man, you have this drive and this passion to go get something and get it
Yeah.
done. And I believe that carried on outside of football. Now, everything wasn't perfect
Yeah.
outside of football, but,
Yeah.
that passion and desire that's
Okay.
in you
Yeah.
helped me out.
So take me to training camp, man. So how do those be like? So what time do you guys be having to wake up, and then what time do y'all stop like practicing?
Man, when I was in Green Bay, we had double days. They ain't not doing that no more. So, man, I'd be up at like 5:30.
yeah.
We going to meetings around 7. We
God,
doing
dog.
walkthroughs. breakfast, walkthroughs, even lifting, special teams, team meeting, offensive meeting, bro. You there all day. Training camp, I think in 2011, my rookie year was, we'll just say like give an estimate, like 7 to like 7 p.m. And you get like an hour and a half, maybe 2-hour break in the afternoon, and that's it.
Golly, that's wild, man. That's wild, big time. So, what were some lessons that football has taught you?
Man, you just got to keep going, man.
Yeah.
Not everything's perfect in football, but life isn't perfect either. But take advantage of the opportunities, and God always has a plan for you.
Yeah. In
sports and in life, so I just took that with me and rolled with it.
Okay. How did you stay motivated on certain setbacks that you had?
Man, just to be honest, bro, that was probably the toughest part of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I first got cut from the NFL, it was like, who am I without the sport?
Yeah.
And I had that challenge for a while. A lot of stuff I wasn't happy about.
Yeah.
But just moving forward and just how God just started showing me who I am and the reason why I got there. It just reminded me like I have that power. You know, that football doesn't have power over me. People don't have power over me. The NFL doesn't have power over me. I was Diondre Borel before I even got to the NFL, and that's what got me to the NFL. So that's what that's what I see, and that's what I've been doing right now.
Oh, okay, I like that. Okay, I feel that. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's something that touched me right there. Yeah, it's big time, man. So, what was your favorite moment? It could be like from high school, college, NFL. What was your favorite, just like football moment that you'll forever cherish?
Man, I got a lot of moments, man. I think I'm gonna be honest. I'd say in the past, I'd say, man, just playing in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like going to one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
It was like, that was my dream. Just getting there, signing the free agent contract.
Yeah.
Going up there, practicing with the guys, playing with the guys, all guys, guys that are going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know, that was one of the biggest moments. And then right now, I'm just excited about my life and what football's about to bring.
Okay, yeah. So what you got up right now? What you got going right now?
Man, just working on the public speaking, motivational speaking, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Performance coaching.
Yeah.
Not just the physical part, but the mental and spiritual part, as well as training youth athletes and high school athletes, man. And I'm still wanting to play that game.
Okay, yeah. So how long have you been doing that for?
Playing?
Yeah,
Playing, man, just since professionally since 23.
Since 23.
Been a couple years in there where I didn't play.
Yeah, okay.
But just since 23 years old.
Okay, yeah, big time right there, man. So what was that moment where you knew you could at least make it to like the college level? What was that moment when you feel like that?
Man, I was telling people I was going to the NFL since I was 10, so I already knew I was going to go. But people were looking at me crazy. Oh, no, you sound crazy. But 10 years old. And then when I got to high school, I would always say, I'm going D1.
Yeah.
So my best friend would always call me, what up, D1? D1, what's good? That was my nickname.
Yeah.
My nickname was D1. So just knowing in high school I could play at that level, it's when I believed it.
You spoke it up before it happened.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. Yeah. So what do you like to do like outside of football?
Man, I'll just be chilling, bro. Really? I go to the movies, man. That's one of my main things. I go to the movies, sit down, eat some popcorn.
Yeah.
And just enjoy my day, man.
Yeah.
Really just be smooth with it. Shoot, I be praying.
Yeah.
God give me a word to get to somebody, I'm going to do it. That's exciting for me because it's a life-changing experience for them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah. That's a lot, yeah. So, oh, crap. So, so let's get into some MVP talk. So, who do you feel like probably going to win MVP this year?
Man. That's going to be tough because Josh Allen balling.
Yeah, he is balling.
Lamar Jackson balling.
Yeah.
And I don't know where Saquon is in the race, but I ain't gonna lie. I'd say
be up there.
I'd say give it to, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's gonna be tough. I like Lamar.
Yeah.
And he's a great player.
And they just
But Josh Allen too, though, man. He doing stuff that you know, other people ain't doing either.
Yeah.
And it might just be a little bit more quiet, but I say Lamar.
Yeah. Yeah, the MVP race, man, is really getting close this year.
Yeah.
The last game coming. Yeah.
I say Lamar.
You say Lamar?
He gonna get it.
Okay,
Lamar gonna get it.
Okay.
There's no way you can't do it because he's doing a lot of stuff that people aren't doing this year. And he's been doing it for a long time, but this year has been his year.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it to Lamar.
Yeah, Lamar. Who would they probably play? They would probably play like they'll probably play somebody like Pittsburgh or something first round. I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait for that. But back to you. So what advice can you give anybody who want to end up being in your shoes one day, like making it to the next level?
Man, just keep believing in yourself. God gave you a purpose. You are great. You were great before you get to that sport, and just continue to believe in yourself. Know that God is taking you to that next level. And when you tap into that mental game and that spiritual game with God, because for me, Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So when you tap into that, and you tap into the Holy Spirit, there's nothing that God can't do. So you can do the impossible.
Yeah, for sure. So looking back at your career, is there something that you wish you probably could have did differently?
Nah.
You liked it how it was?
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's cool.
It's perfect the way it was, because what God's doing right now, he's making everything happen the way it needs to.
Yeah. Like everything with me with this podcast, like we was talking before we started recording, it's already written. God, he already know the steps of this.
Yep.
So we just doing. Appreciate you for being a part of this, though, man.
Yes, sir,
part of this journey, for sure, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So what is something that you want your fans to remember you by?
Man, just me being a positive light, being a leader, and guiding people and helping other people achieve their dreams and accomplish their dreams, just like I did.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, appreciate you taking the time to come on my show, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. If you guys like today's video with Diondre Borel, make sure you guys like, subscribe to the Hot Talk Shop podcast. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that flew, bro.
Yes, sir.
My phone. Oh, yeah.
Bam.
Yes, sir.